So we've got Rhys here on the call with us. He is the owner at Wild and Free Marketing, and Rhys has actually been helping us with our social media ads now for several months. So I'm sure most of you guys have probably seen us bombarding you with accelerated automation ads all over Facebook, and that is so much to the credit of Rhys. He's been amazing. So obviously we had a bunch of disruption that was coming around leads in the insurance space and just in the lead space in general because of the TCPA rules. And that's actually what Rhys and I were talking about and why we bumped this webinar topic up to today. This topic was supposed to be on my company, but we knew that this was going to be much more valuable for you guys. So we're going to be talking about, creating ads. Rhys, I definitely want you to give us a little bit of your background because I know you've been doing this for a minute. And then we'll just kind of hand the floor over to you. But first of all, thank you so much for spending the time to do this and to help our agents.
Absolutely, no problem. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Rhys, like the chocolate Reese's Pieces or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is one of the easiest ways to say it. I've been running Facebook ads now for 10 years. Started it quite a while ago. My background is actually based off of making a video go viral on Facebook. So my wife and I went on a holiday to the Great Wall of China. And as you would, we record ourselves there. There was a roller coaster next to it. Made a video of this roller coaster, threw it on Facebook. A month later, got 30 million views. And my wife and I were like, what? We did stuff in real estate. This was just fun for us. And we decided, hey, let's keep making videos. So we started traveling, making more videos. And fast forward to today, we have about 3 million followers total on our travel channels. So travel is a huge part of our lives. And unfortunately/fortunately, I got into Facebook and went big on Facebook before monetization was available. So my wife and I were like, there's got to be another way we can make money on this platform. So we did ads. Fast forward to today, that's my main career is running Facebook ads. I have consulted over 2,000 students personally hands-on in Zoom meetings that go for an average of 3 hours. I currently manage around 11 clients and I'm spending close to $800,000 a month on Facebook ads. I've got 3 clients that spend over $100,000 a month on ads. So you don't have to spend that much by any means. Don't want to scare you. You can start as low as $30 a day, $900 a month, but it is scalable, definitely scalable. As Mariah said, with these new laws that are coming out, it's really going to change the game for a lot of people. There's a lot of companies shutting down that aren't able to generate leads like they used to. And with the new regulations, that's just going to change the game. So I wanted to do today's call and keep it a very top level call, kind of just go over some general things about Facebook, the things that I do different than what most people do. So I am going to share my screen.
Yeah, and I'll tell you guys, Rhys, when he says he spends, so I don't spend that kind of money on ads at all, not even close. But spending time with you and teaching you this stuff, like that is an option with him, which is really cool if that's a skill that you want to learn. Or he has the ability for you to also just simply hire him to run your ads and do this for you. So he has a couple of different options. But why I like this so much for insurance agents is because a lot of you guys are do-it-yourselfers, right? That's how I started in automation, was I was just doing it myself. And that's a great way to build some skill. And you can meet with him, as needed, kind of like by the hour. You want some extra help. It's been an amazing process that I've gone through with him. And then, like I said, you can graduate to the point where if you're really seeing success with this, if you want to just hand it off to him and he'll manage it as well. So the entry points is a lot of what I love about how Rhys handles his clients. And I've really enjoyed it. So I'm excited. Go ahead. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot more stuff too.
Awesome. No, I'm really excited as well. Yeah, just like she said, I really focus on being transparent with everything. I'm a great educator. I feel like I'm just been in this pocket for so long. This is all I do. I just got off a back-to-back 3-hour consultation before I'm on this call. So I'm 4.5, 5 hours in. So it's all I do. So I gave you guys that rough introduction about what I do. I want to jump in and just talk about the right and wrong ways to run ads. So there is a wrong way to run ads, if you can believe it. There really is 2 main ways to run ads. You can run it through the ads manager, which is this tool just here, or you can do something called boosting a post. Boosting is what we call in the world, the button that makes Mark Zuckerberg rich. It's one of the worst ways to run ads. It doesn't allow you to use what's called a pixel. And if you don't have a pixel and you don't run the ads through the ads manager, you cannot program it to get exactly what you want, which is leads. Anyone can watch a 1-hour YouTube video, learn about how this machine works right here, and go in and try to do it. But it's very confusing. One of the first questions they ask you is what objective or outcome you want. And that can confuse everyone. What's the difference between traffic and leads? You need traffic to a website to get leads. The amount of times that I've seen people not do this right is a lot. And I did it wrong the first time, like everyone, but I've learned and ran so many ads over the years that I figured out the right way to run ads. And one of the most important ways to run ads is to utilize that pixel. So I'm sure everyone on this call today has got different levels of knowledge. Some people have probably never ran an ad before, and other people are probably running them actively now, seeing good results, seeing bad results, and all in between. So just a top level pixel overview. What is a pixel? A pixel is a little code that's embedded in the website that helps your ads get smarter about who it needs to be showing the ads to. Facebook needs to receive signals back from the website about who's becoming a lead. If it knows exactly who's becoming a lead, it can tailor our ads and hyper focus it towards that. And that's what we're wanting today. I'm not going to talk about brand awareness or funnel approaches or anything where we got to build an audience. The algorithm is so smart about deciding who's going to become a website lead that you just go in here and tell Facebook, I want leads, and you are only going to show ads to leads. These pixels and all these devices that we have got a Facebook or Instagram app installed, and it is tracking everything you ever do. So when John decides to go and look up end of term life insurance, the moment that his phone does that, Facebook knows they're doing that. And they know that that person's valuable. So they put him in this campaign and objective. And you can only run your ad to that person in that objective. What does Facebook get out of this? They get to charge you more money. Your average cost to show an ad to someone in that objective is around $1,000. About $20 per 1,000 people. Around $20 1,000 people, where these other objectives are going to be closer to $5 per 1,000. So they're 4 times cheaper for distribution, but they get nothing. You will get no leads from awareness, no leads from traffic, no leads from engagement. You got to program it right. But even further down, that pixel needs to be programmed right and be installed right. You need to make sure it's tracking. There's actually 2 parts to it. You install it, and then you have to program it so it knows what to look for. That is something I can also help with. So how does Meta identify potential leads? Again, that's exactly how they know that somebody is interested in a service because that phone's looking at it, and then they categorize them. One of the most important things about the pixel as well is when you're telling Facebook what happens on the website. So someone visits the website, they click around, that's just being logged as just traffic. Once they submit their information on the website, that becomes a lead. Now, a lot of people make the mistake of not programming it specifically for that. You can easily go in and program the pixel with what's called a custom conversion, but Facebook hasn't logged millions and millions of data points of that custom conversion. Lead is the one they've done. So the big trick here is leads, leads, leads. It all has to be programmed for that if that's what you want to get out of it. This is that ads manager. I don't want to jump too deep into it, but I want to show you an example of an account that I'm actively running right now. This is a healthcare company out of New Zealand, so out of the country, but we are running in America, New Zealand, UK. We're running international. You can see that I've got this set up as the last month. So I spent $1,870 in the last month on this account, and I was able to generate 70 leads in the UK on this one for $12.98. The top one, 19 leads at $15, 15 leads at $20. I would say that right now leads are coming in anywhere between $10 to $50 on Facebook. 10 is on that reserve side. That's kind of more of like a general service versus getting up to 50 or even higher could be end of term life insurance for a high wealth person. The CPM number is what I'm looking at over here. I said that under $20 is healthy. So you can see this campaign 17, this one 21. The one above it's 40. That's a bit too expensive for what I like, but that number needs to stay down. That number will go up based off the wealth of the person you're targeting. If you are targeting very low income government assistance people, your CPM can be very low. Facebook bases it off the wealth of the person. If you target another country, say like Pakistan, CPM can go down to cents. Then you go and target Beverly Hills women between the ages of 20 and 50, and you could be paying upwards of $50 to $60 because that is the highest wealth individuals in America. Now,
so that can you go back on that CPC, that cost per click, is that, or the CPM, sorry, is what you were on. So that is for every 1,000 people. Can you explain this one a little bit more?
Yeah. So every time your ad is shown to 1,000 people, it's referred to as a CPM. It's a cost per mil. So we round the math off on how much money it costs to show the ad to 1,000 people because it makes the math just easier to digest. When you run ads on Facebook, you pay for impressions. If your ad appeared on a screen, you were being charged by Facebook for that. So theoretically, you can see this campaign just here spent $115 and has no leads reported. It is a reporting issue on this one because it's through Android, but that can happen. You can spend your money and get no leads because your ad did get shown to people. Whether or not those people turn into leads depends on a lot of variables. We rounded off to 1,000 because the math is way easier to digest, and a healthy cost for 1,000 impressions is under $20. I base this off of just the accounts I'm running. I've got an account that spends 200K a month and their CPM is $17. So if they can do 17, you should be able to as well. I have seen plenty of accounts that have a CPM in the high 80s, even $100 range, and that's just way too expensive. We should be closer to $17. Another metric that I'm paying attention to is also the cost per click. That tells you how much the audience is engaging with your ads. So we should be getting around a $2 click. I call this my rule of two. Under $20 CPM and under $2 cost per click is what we're aiming for. So you can see some of mine are coming at $1.88 or even up to $3.27. They do range. Now, I don't want to go too deep into how this ads manager works. I've got a consultation that goes for hours for that, but I just want to break down one of the most basic features of it. It's called split testing. This is what the ads manager is built to do. You go in and you create a campaign and you have the ability to give it multiple assets to test. So I've got one ad here, for example, and I'm going to, on the left side, create more than one once it decides to load. I've got now two ads on this far left side over here. So this one is going to be ad 1, and then I've got ad 2. So I can keep going into this system and making these ads and swapping them out for different photos. And now at this stage, Facebook is actually going to test these ads against each other. I'm able to allocate one budget across the board, and Facebook does what's called split testing. And after about 4 days, you can come back in here and see what ads are working the best. And if it's reaching our goals, we keep running it. And if it doesn't, we keep trying again. And this split testing can go to the audiences, to the ads, to the messaging, and to everything in between. So
Yeah,
this is how.
so that was something I experienced with when we were working through ours is we started with split testing the audience. We did some lookalike audiences, and then we just let Facebook pick audiences. So we split tested our audience first, and now we're split testing between video and image to see which one kind of does better. And then in each of those ads, we have a couple different videos and a couple different images, and we're seeing where the engagement is. So the reason I wanted to jump in here is because when you guys build an ad, if you build it once and you're looking at those metrics that Rhys told you to watch for, that $20 and that $2 per click, and you're not getting in that area and you're not getting activity, this is where ads require time. You have to go in and keep creating different media, different content to see what is going to attract in your buyer and actually get your engagement and create a lead for you. So this isn't a, make a post, boost it, let it run, and you're going to be, swimming in Facebook leads. That's not going to happen. You've got to be able to have a process that you implement. You let it run for a while. You're going to spend some money that's not going to turn into anything initially because it's gathering data for you. And then you've got to go back in and adjust and tweak and look at the metrics to hone in on a really good ad. And even once you have a good ad, that can also dry up. You may need to refresh and change the ad. So this isn't a do it once and forget it. You do need to kind of forget it a little bit, let it run for a week or two and, gather some data, but you need to come back to this and spend time on it if you really want to get long-term results.
Yep, you've actually got it. Here's an example of those testing. I've got two audiences set up in this one. We can ignore this top one. We have a breathing audience and an open audience. What I mean by open is really interesting. In 2025, the best audience to use on Facebook is almost no audience, letting Facebook have full control over who they should be showing the ad to. You can see in this case, Facebook has actually chosen our breathing audience, which is a traditional audience called a detailed target audience, where you give it a set of criterias. But in a lot of other situations, the open audience is outperforming.
Yeah,
And
that's
then,
what happened to us. Like we had a list of our clients and a list of our prospects who we met with, and we did a detailed targeting around like specifically insurance agents, right? Because that's who we sell services to. And we ran that for like a couple months, and the open audience did better. Facebook knew more about like our clients, even though we had clients and we were able to provide information. So that was really interesting to me. I expected the open ad set to be one of the worst performings because we didn't give it any parameters, but it outperformed by far.
yeah, it's very counterintuitive. Like you're not doing your due diligence. I feel like I'm lazy sometimes when I don't do it because I'm just filling out information. But you can see that they did decide to add more budget to one audience over the other. And then at this point, you can evaluate and say, this audience too expensive. We're going to turn it off just like that. And it stops running. Then the same test can happen through those audiences. So you can see that this is a set of ads, these ones down the bottom. And out of that whole $200, 115 of it was spent on just one ad. And you can see the cost per result's cheaper. Facebook acknowledged that and turned most of the budget in that one. And at this point, you can go and turn off the other ads and do your due diligence and turn off the losers. But I've also not turned off the losers. Like in this situation, like this one at the top is $15. It's only $2 extra per lead. I have found that month one, ad 3 might work best. Month two, ad 2 might start taking over a little bit, and they do swap and change. So yeah, you got to give them time. As far as time goes, I believe around a week to 2 weeks. Some marketers will tell you got to run ads for 2 months to see results. I think week to 2 weeks. Mariah, you saw something kind of similar with that. It took about 1 to 2 weeks for us to test, and then we picked it up. So yeah, that was my general overview of the ads manager. There's so much fun stuff we can do in here. I feel confident that if you do take my training, I can teach you exactly how this ads manager needs to work and remove a lot of variables that you need to test. The testing that we're doing right now, like Mariah said, is content. It really does narrow down to content. I feel confident that the structure of how the ads run, there's only one structure. You got website leads. There is a series of audiences we can structure together, but there's not an unlimited supply. There's only a few that actually work. Then it gets down to the content, and this is a content dominant platform. Google is a place where people search for stuff. Facebook is social media. They saw a cat jumping over a rainbow before they saw your ad. So they're not in that mindset like they're on Google. So the content has to be perfect. And talking about the content for a little bit, I do want to dive into that. So with the content side of things, I've got 5 rules that I follow every time. 4 rules that I follow every time that give me the best chance of success, and they're based off of data. The first rule that I got is that you got to keep everything vertical. Everyone's coming from a mobile phone and everyone holds them vertical. So you got to get your social media content just right. There's actually 2 sizes. There is a news feed and a story/reel size. There is square and vertical, and they need to be right. In this ads manager, you customize your ads so that the vertical ads are in the vertical placements, the square in the square. It looks the most professional. You're using all your real estate. The other 3 rules that I've got are based off one data point. The average video playtime on Facebook is about 5 seconds long. On Instagram, it's 3 seconds. And on TikTok, it's 1.5 seconds long. The attention span of a human is disturbingly bad right now. So you need
That's why reels are so popular, because you can watch a condensed video, just the snip, like so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, like I watch more reels than I do podcasts these days, because a new podcast comes out, I wait for the reels to come out because there's the highlights. I don't have to watch the whole hour to 2 hours to figure out the highlights. So the science behind that first 5 seconds is crucial. So one of my biggest keys to success is knowing that you got to get it right in that first 5 seconds. Some people use clickbait. A great example is breaking news. Or if you've ever seen those ones where the camera's behind the baseball player and he misses the ball and the ball smacks the camera and you get the jump scare. Those are great. They stop people from scrolling. There's those ones where it blends in, like a fail blends into the person. They're great, but it stops everyone. It stops absolutely everyone in their tracks. And you might not want everyone to be able to see your ads. You might want a very specific person. One great method I've seen is trigger words. In the insurance industry, one of my most successful ads that I've ran to date is an ad where it's a man standing out the front with his daughter, and the caption is, "Don't be the only father on the street without health insurance. Don't be that father." And it's so impactful. It's like they're scrolling, they see this ad and they read that words.
They're like shaming you.
It is shaming. It is. It's pulling on those
the pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Put that pressure on people. You need to be very open about what it is you're offering, explain it and get it across. So another rule I have is keep it short. If you're making a video, don't make videos go long. Keep them like 15 to 30 seconds long, because people aren't watching long. And then the last rule I've got is always have that call to action. Tell people at any point that they can take action. So have a permanent call to action at the bottom. Don't wait for the end of the video to put it on there. That way they see that trigger. They go, "Oh, yeah, that's me. Oh, I hate that." And then at the bottom it says, "Here it is, typical problem solution scenario." Just want to be able to give that solution to people almost immediately.
Hey, Rhys, quick question. Terry asked in the chat, do the Facebook ads carry over to Instagram?
Absolutely. So this platform that we're looking at right now is for both Facebook and Instagram. I can press this breakdown button right here, and I can click on platform, and you can see the distribution of these results on both platforms. You can see this campaign got 15 leads, 14 came from Facebook, 1 from Instagram. Facebook 12, Instagram 7. Just like the split test happens on the content and the audience, you also split test different platforms. You can go in here and say, Facebook, I want this campaign to exclusively run on Instagram. I want this one to exclusively run on Facebook, which is good because this might be a scenario where Facebook sees plenty of results coming from Facebook, but there still could be results available on Instagram. All ages connect with ages and demographics connect with demographics. I can also come up here and look at the age, and that might be a correlation. If you have an older audience, they're typically on Facebook, and a younger audience is typically on Instagram. So I'll go to this campaign with 70 leads here, and we can see we got 18 to 24, we got 15. Then there's a bit of a slowdown, and then there's a pick back up around 60 over 45. So yes, you should create ads on both Facebook and Instagram. You can either just give it one and let it distribute on both, or you can get very specific with it if you want.
And I want to encourage you guys to ask questions in the chat as well. So go ahead and throw your questions into the chat and we'll ask Rhys as we go.
Yeah.
I know you have more to go through on the ads and stuff. I know, for example, one of the things we probably should touch on a little bit is, so they click on the ad, like what should happen next? So how should that agent capture that? Because you can use forms in Facebook, you can have landing pages, like there's a few options. So what have you found to work best?
Absolutely. So when you press this create button and you go through and you select leads, there is multiple ways that you can generate a lead. This is one of the most important parts of it as well. The conversion location is one of the first questions they ask you in the setup. And every one of these options is a way to generate a lead. So you've got website, which is your traditional send them to a website with a contact form. I'm going to skip over some that say two things at once because I want to explain them. Website's website. Instant form is a form built on Facebook where you can submit your information on the platform. It looks like this. Little side note, just to show you how outdated the Facebook Ads Manager is. The example phone has the home button still on the bottom of it. They haven't updated this in about 9 years. This has been here since I first came on. They scroll through Facebook, they see an ad, they click on it, it instantly shows up with a lead form. They can fill out all their information on Facebook without leaving the platform. Worst method, in my opinion. It does not generate good quality leads. It's a low intent, low quality lead. If you want to get email signups and get people to join your newsletter, epic for it. You should try to get dollar leads at that rate with that one. But if you want someone to be able to get life insurance or any kind of insurance, it doesn't work well. Messenger and Instagram are DM messengers. So they message you on the platform. Facebook is the Facebook platform. Then Instagram is the Instagram platform. Instagram has its own inbuilt DM system. Facebook's split off and it's called Messenger. They made its own app, which is called the Messenger app. So basically, these are both the same thing. They're messenger ads where they click on the ad and they get into a message with you. Then you've got WhatsApp. America doesn't really use WhatsApp like the United Kingdom and stuff where it's their normal communication. So that's really B2B. But Facebook and Instagram, Meta owns WhatsApp. So you can use WhatsApp as well. It's just, I'm not seeing it work. Calls doesn't work well. Calls call you through a Palo Alto, California phone number. The connection is horrible. If they disconnect, you're gone. And I get clients getting a lot of butt dials for some reason is what it is. You can hear the static in the TV, but they're not there. So out of all these methods, website is definitely the best that I'm seeing work. Getting them to a website where they can submit their information on a website. What kind of website you should use, I'm going to show you an example. This is not in the insurance industry, but I want to show you different examples of websites. This is a traditional website for this company where you can buy a metal building. We have created a landing page called LP. Anybody who clicks on the ad goes to this page, a landing page. I'm sure most of you are probably aware what the difference is with a website and a landing page, but this is a one-pager. They can't click anywhere else or go and do anything except for click the call to action buttons, which in this case is a call. So this company is actually running call ads, but the lead, instead of being a contact form, is a click to call button. If you do it this way, instead of their call button, it calls them through their real phone number. Yes, there's more steps involved, but the quality is way more higher because a lot of people accidentally butt dial. But then at the same time, we can very easily go create another landing page identical to it with a contact form. And that's what this company's done in this case is we got the same website, one with a contact form, one with a call. The contact form runs 24 hours a day and the call runs 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Now, apart from that, another one that I'm seeing working pretty well that's interesting is DM messages. Messages is they click the ad, they get sent a greeting message from your page, and then from there you can respond to them and nurture those leads. Very low barrier to entry. A trick that I do that not a lot of people know that you can do is you can send a video to those messages as soon as they send you a message. So you can make a pre-recorded video going, hey everyone, this is Rhys. I work for such and such. I just wanted to put a voice to a face so you know who you're talking to. I'd love to talk to you more about how I can help you with this service. They see the connection. It really bonds them together. The messages come through on a phone just like a regular text message, and it's working the leads. The problem is you got to work the leads. So there is a negative to it.
Yeah, keep in mind too, if it's coming through your company page and you're usually logged into your personal Facebook, like you do have to switch. So they are different messenger platforms. You have to actually like switch which account you're looking at to see those. So if you're going to do that, make sure you've got, someone in the agency who's logged into that account and they're watching it throughout the day, especially if you're running ads on it, because this is no different than any other lead. Speed to contact is important, right? We talked about attention span. If they think about it in the moment and they want to connect with you, and it takes you a day or two to get back to them, you are no longer at the top of their mind. So you want to be quick in response. So if you're going to do that, have somebody logged in, make sure you're watching it. That's important.
Absolutely. And the best thing is it can be connected to a phone. And most of the leads are coming in outside of business hours. They're coming in from 5 to 11 p.m. in the afternoon when people are sitting at home and they have the time to do it. So if you have the ability to communicate then, you can reap the rewards. There is a negative.
Can we go back to that website really quick? I want to chat about that a little bit. So you guys, this is something that we're actually going to host a webinar on the 27th. So make sure you register for the webinar on the 27th. It's specifically around a website vendor that we really love. But I wanted to touch on this because this website that you're looking at here, right, having a landing page, the fact that you can build one out, depending on, whether you're a captive or independent or how updated or old your website is, this is probably something you should look at. The statistics are something like 90+% of insurance shopping starts online. And if you don't have a really nice professional looking website, you're going to set the wrong tone with your customer, and you're not going to have that level of excellence portrayed through your site. I was recently digging through some insurance sites in my own area, and I was shocked to see. I mean, they all look like they were built in like before I was born, like in the early 80s. I was born in 86 or 87. So, they can't look old, especially on Facebook. When you're thinking about someone who's on social media a lot, they're going to be used to things being a lot more updated and clean and crisp and professional. And there's also a certain amount of, that psychology around like the spamming on Facebook ads, right? Is this a legitimate company? Am I going to get scammed? So if your website looks all janky or looks like it could be thrown together in 5 minutes, that's going to be a little bit more of a spam filter or spam flag than if you have a really nice professional website. So you should definitely be linking your Facebook ad to a landing page. I highly recommend that. It helps with your SEO. It allows you to capture the information. And like we talked about on last week's webinar, it allows you to capture opt-in. Like this form is missing that opt-in verbiage. So we'd want to make sure you guys have that for your compliance piece. So you have the ability to reach out regardless of what kind of phone system you have in place. But you get that opt-in. And even if you don't talk to them immediately, you can follow up. You can throw them into an automated campaign and reach out. They can become part of your lead database. And this is great because it's specifically your lead, right? You're not one of 10 or 15 agents after a shared lead that you purchased. You made this through your ad, directly through your form. So they're engaging with you one-on-one. But if you have a really bad website you're directing them to, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Absolutely. Also, make sure the website's vertical because everyone's coming on a platform that's vertical. So when you're in these new website building platforms, they usually have an option to be able to manage it vertical and horizontal. But yeah, you can see this website cuts into this kind of look at that point. So yeah.
Yeah, pull up your own website on your phone, and if you have images that are halfway cut off or you can't see the messages, like you need to update that. It's not going to look correct.
Yep. All right. So another thing that I did want to jump into and talk to you guys about is how many areas that you can actually run ads on Facebook. Every one of these little things that have a tick next to it is a place where your ad can show up on Facebook. If you run your ads long enough, you actually start to see which one of these works the best. It is no surprise that Facebook's feed and Instagram's feed are the two best performers for majority of people. The content that you create is usually geared towards those areas, and just in general, they work the best. But there is Instagram stories, Facebook stories, Instagram Reels, and Facebook Reels. Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels are like the bootleg of TikTok. Facebook wanted to buy TikTok. They said no. So Facebook stole their idea and called it Reels. So YouTube did the same thing and called it Shorts. Instagram and Facebook were also wanted by Snapchat. Snapchat said, no, we're going public. So they stole their idea and called it stories. And every platform's done the same thing. Everyone's kind of got the same little things going on. If you use social media enough, you'll start to notice that story content is different than real content, and real and story content is different than newsfeed content. And we can get very technical with the ads where the story content is that here we are in the office. This is what we're up to today. Here's a day, like, check us out. This is what we're up to. We're actively doing this. Reels can be more TikTok style videos. You can do those skits. You can do fun videos, more vertical videos. Whereas your news feed is your more traditional placement where you place those photos where it talks about the service, even some of those videos. It's confusing though. If you're confused why there's so many places, everyone's confused. Everyone's asking Facebook, why is there all these different things? Why isn't it just one place for everything? Like, why did things get turned off? Why did things get moved? Instagram TV used to be a thing. Now it's gone. But yeah, it is mostly the Facebook and Instagram feed. So there is one last thing I did want to talk about today, guys, before we jump into a Q&A, which is security on your account. If anybody has a Facebook on this call, you're almost guaranteed to have, at some point in the recent past, get a message to your account or an email or something saying that you've been shut down off the platform when you haven't. Statistically, there's a chance that people on this call today have actually been hacked as well, where they've fallen victim to this. Everyone is getting these messages sent to them that say your account has gone against policies and is being shut down. Click this link to request a review. The link takes you to a phishing website. It's completely fake looking Facebook. You put in your login and they steal your login. What they do is they immediately go in your ad account, set a $10,000 a day ad and run it to some scammy website selling fake products and try to embezzle this money through a system that they've got it figured out. You're in a safe industry. You are not going to be shut down. The way you can tell that you're shut down is you come to your ads manager screen and a big red lock will appear on your screen saying you're shut down. Any messages that your page receives is a scam because that's not how Facebook would notify you. And any email you get is also a scam. They're so smart at it that they can make a fake Facebook page, call it a policy violation, tag your page. Real Facebook is now going to send you an email saying policy violation has tagged you in a post. If you don't see that word tag and know exactly what that means, it looks 100% legit and people are getting shut down every day. So be very careful. Be very, very careful. The most smartest way to protect your account is to set up two-factor authentication. It's a pain in the butt to get that two-factor code sent to you every day, every second, but it will save you. They are getting really tricky with it. I saw a hack recently on Facebook. I'll see if I can find it on here, where the hackers were able to bring up a fake-looking screen. It's this one here. My client went to Facebook and this showed up. There's nowhere to click. It loaded Facebook and then disappeared. And this looks 100% legit, except that shortened.world URL is suspicious. What happened here is that this client accessed Facebook on Safari, and Internet Explorer is no longer supported by Facebook. We logged in on Chrome and we saw the message with this weird string of code. And somehow these hackers have figured out if you open this in Safari, it's going to completely cover your screen. Like, if you don't know what you're looking for, this looks 100% legit. We're on facebook.com. Yeah. Be so careful of it.
Jeez, it's crazy.
It's absolutely bonkers. Yeah, platform risk is a big thing. But yeah, guys, I'm happy to talk about my services, and also if there is any open Q&A, everyone feel free to put a question in the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, let's go ahead. You guys type in your questions in here that Rhys can get to. I wanted to, while we're waiting for some questions in the chat, I wanted to bring up a couple of things that you had kind of taught me as well that I think would be really helpful to agents. So some things you guys might not know about ads. When we talked about targeting an audience, you can also do this through location. So, obviously if you follow Accelerated Automation, we teach you guys to use Agency Zoom CRM. It actually allows you to see where you're closing business based on zip codes inside of Agency Zoom. And you can do location settings inside of your ads in Facebook. You see Rhys is pulling this up right now, where you can actually say, I want my ad to really be shown in this area. The other cool thing to do with these location pieces is you can run specific ads for like events. So if you guys do event marketing, I used to do a lot of that in my agency. I would go to home and garden shows because my target audience was homeowners, right? Because they have a couple cars, they had the right insurance, or I'd go to business fairs for like contractors and set up a booth. And if I was there, you can run an ad hyper targeting that location within like a 1 mile radius of the event. And then people that are at the event who are pulling up their Facebook or Instagram are going to see your ad, encouraging them to come to your booth. Maybe you have a giveaway or a drawing you want them to enter, and it allows you to saturate more people that may not have otherwise known you were there or decided to come to your location, to your booth location. So that was pretty cool. Even if you are not going to be at an event. Let's say there's a home and garden show and you were like, man, I couldn't get there, couldn't afford it, I couldn't have the team, whatever it was. You didn't go, but you still want to target those clients, run the ad during that time and target them, and use the name of the event and have a special attention in that video and have some kind of promo for them or something like that, that you're running or just, informational. So I thought that was really cool, being able to say, my target group of clients are here right now. Is there a contractors convention that runs in your city that you could target when those contractors are going to be there, and that those are people you want to write insurance for? Or maybe there's a food truck, association meeting or something like that, and you're after that particular industry. This hyper target, you run the ad for that time. So awesome. So awesome to be able to get in front of those people where otherwise you wouldn't be able to at that level.
And just piggybacking off that, one really cool thing you can do is if you show the video to them, there is an audience set up in here where I can say, Facebook, I want to make a custom audience of anyone who watched a video, a specific video for 3 seconds. So you run the ad to people while they're at the event, they watch it, they don't engage because they might go and move on. You just come in here, you select exactly the post. And then at that point, you can press confirm. And now everyone who watched that video, even though they've gone back to their homes and they've all dispersed, you can still target just specifically those people because they watched that video for 3 seconds. Yeah,
So
really
cool. So
powerful.
now you're targeting even more. And this is where you get like really affordable ads.
Hey, this is Adam with the Tat.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, here's an example. I've got a company that I'm running this for right now. There's an event in Las Vegas right now for machinery companies. And
Hey, this is Adam with Attach 2. We're at the ARA Rental Show in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you're at the show, come swing by booth 5519. We have all of our attachments as well as our couplers to show you. We'd love to get to know you and your business.
I have actually got, I would say, probably 5 to 6 clients from the scenario where people walk up going, I just saw you on my phone. How did you do that? Get me in contact with the person who did it. It works really, really well. That's all you gotta do. Just make that simple video. The ads manager takes about 5 minutes to approve an ad. So you can very easily set that up. And the moment you get there, record your video. And then that video can run the entire time you're at the event, having people come up to your booth. Works insanely well.
Yeah. So if you guys are at any conferences coming up that I'm not at and you see our ads, Rhys is why, because we're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, it works. I love it. COVID also died this out a little bit. So it's a bit of not many people remember it anymore.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So Terry said, did you say to create landing pages for Facebook to link to? Yes, correct. So on your website, Terry, you'd want to make a landing page and then the ad is connected to that. So when they click like the learn more button, it'll load your landing page. Yeah.
One thing that's go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say one thing that's a little bit high level on this. The ads pixel is a little broken. iOS 14 came out about 6 years ago, and that allowed people to opt out of tracking. It kind of messed it up. We're seeing a 20% discrepancy in results. And when you're running paid Google ads and paid Facebook ads to the same page, it can be hard to figure out attribution correctly. You could very easily go create an LP2 identical landing page, just add the 2 on the end of it, and only send Facebook traffic to that landing page. This fixes this whole attribution issue because now you can attribute 100% results of that landing page to Facebook, because the only people that are finding that page are Facebook. This allows you to not have to worry about any of those extra tools or services that people pay. No third-party tool can fix this attribution issue. That's the only one I've found to truly fix it.
Well, and this is also great advice when it comes to lead tracking, you guys. So if you want to know how many leads you're getting from Facebook, like Facebook's going to track it, but you should have that form then connected into your CRM, right? So we obviously use like Zapier or an API connection between your form and your CRM. It should zap over. And if you have a page that's specifically for Facebook, now you can have the source of that lead be Facebook, and you can also track your own conversions and have a separate page for Google so that you can have, conversion tracking for your Google ad. So it's not just about how your ad is performing, but then like, what kind of results are you getting at the agency? Are you actually selling insurance to these people? You can get cheap ads on social media if you build it all right, like Rhys is teaching you guys to do, and you can get volume. but are you converting, right? So now you've got marketing is running. Is the conversion process, is it the type of client we're getting in? Is it the sales process? Like, what is it, right? Is it the price? So you've got to be able to track that in your CRM too. So having a separate page will also help you there. Dan asked, what do you do mostly, video ads or static photo ads? So I'll let Rhys talk about this, but it has drove me crazy that my images do better than my videos. I don't, it's just, and the first one we did, I made that thing on Canva in like 20 seconds because we were just putting together the ads and I needed like a placeholder. And then that darn image did really well. It was hilarious. I'll let you share more about this.
Yeah, it is unique because I would say that video outperforms photos where in just short, like most people are seeing videos work better. A photo can say 1,000 words where a video can say 1,000 words. And I think that really helps. That a lot of people are on social media just mind-numbingly scrolling through those reels. And when they're scrolling through video, and then a photo shows up, it's a bit on to the next thing. They want to see movement happening. So I think videos are outperforming. The thing that's working a lot right now is called UGC, stands for user generated content. It is amateur production content. It is a person standing in front of a camera, just like the example I showed you of the man at the event in Las Vegas. Low production, just hold your phone out in front of you and talk. It doesn't have to be the owner. It could just be a regular person making a review. It comes off extremely authentic. But this has been around for about 3-4 years now, and people have caught onto it. It got used a lot last year. So people are starting to catch on and be like, that's just a person paid to do this. They were talking about tax returns last week and now talking about end of term life insurance. So it's good, but the science behind getting those UGC videos right is everything. So I would say, like what Mariah said, both are working right now. Photos and videos are working right now. Photos really work well in the news feed. Reels and stories see videos working the best. So I would really try to invest in both. I usually tell people make at least 1 video and 2 photos to start with.
Mm-hmm. So next question, what would you suggest for a starter budget for an ad while you are learning the platform?
I would say a good healthy starter budget is between $10 to $20 a day, around $300 to $600 a month. Anything under $10 a day, you're really got to be looking at what kind of outcome you want to have. With those leads coming in at an average of $10 to $50 each, you could be getting a lead every other day at $10 a budget. Don't be afraid that you've got to spend a lot. You definitely don't. The ads manager and the algorithm and their meta support are all going to try to push you to spend more money, but you don't have to. You can spend low. It's also just, if you're going to do that, be realistic about your location. We can set this location down to 1 mile or as big as the whole country. So find a very specific location if you want to do a smaller budget, and it can work that way as well. But a healthy budget, if you've got the budget and you want to be aggressive with it, is $30 a day, $900 a month. That's what I like to start with. That's my general recommendation for people is you need to spend about $30 a day. You can go as low as 20 or 10, but you got to be realistic about outcomes.
Yeah, and for the fact that you're going to be able to create exactly like one-to-one leads, right? They clicked on your ad. Nobody else gets these. They're not shared like you would with another vendor. I've always, my mentors in insurance always told me you should run 5 marketing plans, all the time. Now those 5 plans might change. You might adjust the plan, but if you don't have 5 pieces of marketing and you're wondering why your phone isn't ringing or why you don't have anyone to talk to, that's probably why. So if you think about designating, $1,000 a month to Facebook ads, and it can bring in a lot of volume consistently that is just to you. No, you're not competing with other agents. For that is a really, really affordable piece of marketing when you look at all the other options out there, right? Doing events, referral partners, obviously, like, the best ones, because those are usually free and they're directly to you as well. But if you're going to buy leads from a vendor, you're not going to get the volume and the exclusivity out of a paid lead vendor like you will with Facebook. And you have control of it, and you have control of the messaging and who you're interacting with as well, your target marketing. A lead vendor, you're going to have to give them those parameters, and they're going to try to have to funnel the right leads to you. So this is a great piece to add just as something that you're ongoing with. The next question is a perfect segue from Jamie. What are your costs, Rhys? What are your packages? She wants to know if you have a dedicated team member that will help when running ads, and then what platforms you use for communication. So she wants to know, how do you help people, and what does that look like?
Awesome. No problem. So I am a solo person. I have no employees. We're a husband and wife team. We just had a baby on Christmas Eve, so she's a month old. So my wife is in baby mode at the moment. So just solo. I have found that that's been rewarding for me because you don't want to get handed off to just another person in the company. You don't want me to sell you and then somebody in the company does it. Like everything that I know is up here. It's just by watching it and analyzing it. So it's everything is me. You'll speak to me only, hands-on with the ads. I monitor the ads myself every day. I offer two main services. I offer full-time management and I offer a consultation mentorship service. My mentorship is $500. And the way that is built is it's built off a 3-hour Zoom call. So you and I get on a Zoom call together for roughly 3 hours. It can be split in half, or we do it all at once if you're eager. And we audit your account, make sure everything is lined up and set up to run ads. We establish a content strategy plan, a marketing strategy plan, and then we execute it. You get full hands-on control. I walk you through this the ads manager, and you get that hands-on experience. I've got a pen. I can draw on the screen. I can tell you where to click, and it's really fun and interactive. By the end of the call, you'll have everything running and know how to run your ads for lead generation to make a profitable ROI specifically.
And you can record them. I recorded mine and I had to go back on them because he was showing me how to like clone and edit a few things, like if I wanted to run new images. And I went back and reviewed my recordings to make sure I clicked the right buttons because it is a lot in the beginning. But Rhys does a great job of training, and then you can go back on those recordings as well.
Yep. And I've also got an AI note taker, and you're welcome to have yours join as well. And I give you my recording at the end of that. It fully transcribes everything, puts it in a notes, and then it even trains ChatGPT, and you can talk to it and be like, what did Rhys say the average video playtime should be? And it's fun. So after that consultation, you do get free ongoing support with me through messaging. I feel confident that after you run those ads, the main thing that you will need is to communicate and be like, hey, I did this. Did I do it right? Can you just make sure I'm not doing this wrong? Any extra consultations that we need, I charge $200 an hour for. That is 60 minutes of time that can be spread out however needed. We go minute by minute. But I feel confident that you will be able to get everything you need accomplished by that first 3-hour call. And any ongoing calls might be like, hey, I'm starting in a new place, or I'm doing this new thing. I then offer full-time management. My full-time management is $2,500 a month. That's not including ad spend. That's just my fee. That is for me to have full control over your ads. I work 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. This is all I do.
He really does. I've met with him on Sundays. So
yeah, I'll talk to you on a Sunday morning or Sunday night. I'll talk to you at 11 p.m. at night. I'm good. Like, you can talk to me whenever. This is my life and joy.
I have a suspicion this will change as your kid, you start having your kids get older. So
oh yeah, it's sleep's like gone. It's out.
Yeah.
It's not relevant, but yes, that's a big part. But if I'm not doing that, I'm working. I work from home, which is great. So I'm very adaptive. As I mentioned, I'm managing 11 clients right now, doing about 800K a month. The people I'm charging 2,500 a month. So you have to be realistic about what your spend would be. I would say it needs to be at least $1,000 a month in ad spend for us to see profits on that. We can start off on a consultation and merge into management. I'm open to doing anything that feels confident with the company. I don't charge any extra fee if anyone else would like to join on the call. So any teammates in-house that would like to join the call and learn with us, I charge no extra fee for that. For the management side of things, I don't manage the content creation. I will manage the strategy, but overall, you might need to produce those raw videos. Any photos we can do together on Canva. It's fairly simple these days, but videos, I need someone to film the raw footage. I'd love to talk about your company, but we need a person to do that. I ongoing consult around 15 students. I max out at 25 students. So I've got room for about another 10 more students before I am at my limit. I know what my limit is. And I've got room for people to come on board. So I know there's a lot of people on this call today. I've got a room for about another 10 people, but depending on what you need, either management or ongoing consultations.
So if they want to work with you, Rhys, how do they reach out?
Absolutely. I have my little board just here. So everything's done on Canva. Keep it basic. So you guys can feel free to search for me on Facebook, Rhys and Shanna. You will find my Facebook page. I've got about 300,000 followers, a lot of travel stuff on there. You can contact me at rhys@wildandfreemarketing.com. I've got my phone number there and my website. Some cheeky bugger stole my URL before I got a chance to get it. So my website's wildfreemarketing.com, not wild and free. I'm working on it. I'm in contact with them. I think they know if when you register a business, they check if you've brought your URL yet. And I think that's what happened to me. Yeah, you guys can contact me through any of these ways. You can also contact Mariah and she can forward your contact information on to me. I offer everyone that works with me a free initial 30-minute to hour consultation where we can dive in. We can have a one-on-one together to talk about exactly what you would like to get out of our service together, what you're doing at the moment, if you've ran ads, if you haven't, if you've got problems, if you haven't. We have that initial call and then we set up that initial 3-hour Zoom call after.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rhys, for your time. You guys reach out to me if you have more questions. We will be putting the recording of this on our YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed to Accelerated Automation on YouTube, go and do that so you can see the replay as well, because obviously we covered a lot. Rhys obviously knows this like the back of his hand, so he moves quick. Thank you guys for being here, and make sure you go to acceleratedautomation.net/webinars to register for our future webinars as well. Thanks again, Rhys.